Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, I don't know where the music is. I'm not going to lie. It's not my normal job. I've just taken over for Joe Red today. But you have it live, and we are the full-time show. So if you are coming home from the turf, if you are on the turf still, I don't know, if you're in the Park View or you're at home and you've watched it on TV, you're all welcome to join us right now because we want to talk to it like the good old-fashioned days when you used to ring into the radio station and say, your opinion. That's what we want it to be like. We want you to enjoy it. We want you to join us, and we want honest opinions. But I can pretty much guess what the mood is going to be today. We are on Wednesday. What are we on today? What date is it? I don't know. 23rd of February. Sky Sports News is on there. Thank God for that. And we have just beaten Tottenham Hotspur at home under the lights. Again, it's not the first time I'm aware of this. It's happened a few times now. But what a night. I've not heard the turf myself. I was saying this to my dad, who I was sat with in the stand. I've not heard the turf that good in a long time. I don't think I've heard it that good this season. I don't know what your guys' opinion is. Goals from Ben Mee to seal the victory. I mean, it could have got a second. Let's not beat around the bush, but it were a good old-fashioned Burnley performance, hanging on. The crowd cheering every single block, tackle, everything as if we just scored a goal. And I don't want to go through it too much because I want you guys to join in. I want you all on board. So I'm going to invite my friend up here, who is Jonathan Tate. We all know Johnny. Oh, he hasn't got his camera on. So I don't know. We want it like that. There we go. So, Johnny, can you hear me, pal?
Hey, mate. You all right?
Awesome, mate. Yeah, I'm very well. Thank you very much. How are you, mate?
Buzzing. I'm a bit pissed off, though, because I've been saying Ben Mee header all day, and that's a genuine thing.
And you didn't put it on?
And I fucking didn't put it on. I looked on Sky Bet and it was 12-1, and I thought, I'm not taking them odds. I don't know why. And then when he
always
fucking scored,
the way.
I know, it's fucking buzzing. Even better now,
Always.
Bastards result as well.
Did you go on the turf, Johnny?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Where did you sit, mate?
Hargreaves Upper.
Hargreaves Upper. And what was the atmosphere like for you, pal? Because for me, I'm in the disabled corner in the upper tier. It was electric today, mate, where I were.
Yeah, it was good, weren't it?
Like I say, really...
that was just like a typical Burnley performance of old, weren't it? Everything about it was just, like I say, just fucking like last season and season before. It was just fucking good.
It were good. It were a proper Burnley performance. I was a bit nervous. I don't know about you, about Sean Dash not making any subs, or were you happy with that?
I don't. We're just used to it though now, aren't we? You know, you don't really make that many subs late on. And who are you going to bring on? Barnes? Is he not going to do anything different than Vegas and Gerrard? I thought they held the line against the three really good. And then potentially, who else are you going to bring on? There's no one really to bring on, is there? So making a sub didn't surprise me. Obviously, they went for it, didn't they? I mean, I can't remember how many attackers they had on near the end, but they had a lot of pressure, but they didn't really look like scoring. Nick Pope didn't have that many saves to make.
Well, no, good point. Yeah, but there were some close shots, I must admit, and there were one in particular, say, where I didn't think it. I thought fair play, though. My lad's a keeper, so I do respect holding on to the ball, and he held on to it. There were one shot straight across the face, and he got down really low, really fast. Buzzing with that. I'm just going to read out some comments, Johnny Tate, because I forgot about that, and people are asking, can I not see the comments? Evening, Matt Lawcock. Thanks very much for joining in, mate. Bo has put Brentford, Leeds, Everton, and Newcastle. Look out, we are coming. And I'm going to invite another guest on in a minute. Bradley Miller's next in line. I want to know what your opinions are, guys. If you want to join in, get in touch with me on Twitter. We've got about half an hour of this show. So get in touch on Twitter and I will send you the link on how to join the stream. So as the results are, and someone's saying there, Brentford, Leeds, Everton. Who do you think we're going to catch out of that one, Johnny, before I bring someone else on?
Brentford, I think Everton are in massive trouble. I know they seem to be half decent at home, but if you look at their games that they've got coming up, I mean, they've got City and a couple of the big hitters. I just don't see them doing anything. But I think if we win them 2 games in hand, we go above Brentford, don't we? If it stays as it is.
We do,
I think the big one as well, I was just looking at the table before I come on, is the fucking goal difference. You look at our goal difference compared to anyone around us, and you're looking, there's like a 10-goal swing in there. And that's at least 2 points when it gets towards the end of the season. I don't know. But before the previous 2 games, I'll be honest, I'd wrote us off completely. And you know that, because we speak all the time. And I said, I thought we were fucking dead and buried. But when you actually look over the past few games, we haven't been getting battered, really. like I say, we've been there or thereabouts, and as soon as you got that win, the fucking you can see today. I mean, fucking Peters, he was unbelievable today. Brown, unbelievable. And these are the players. Like I messaged you and Joe and that not so long ago, saying if you're relying on fucking Peters, Stevens, and Lennon, you fucking might as well shut up shop. But they're the players who's fucking been unbelievable past few games. You got to give them credit, and that's just all come down from confidence. Confidence to get it to win.
Absolutely. I'm going to leave you on with me, Johnny, because you can help me out a bit. I'm going to invite Bradley onto the stream now. So, yes, Bradley, thank you very much for joining us. You joined us the other day. Yeah. Give us your match review, mate. What did you think?
Massive. Great from the start. I mean, from minute one, we were just pressing, and they just couldn't get around it, really. They were struggling with our press from the start. I think, everyone put a massive shift in today. Eric Peters, he was massive. You know, all the players were just unbelievable today. And so were the fans. I mean, the atmosphere at Turf Moor was brilliant, especially towards the end. You just hear the chant. It's just goosebumps everywhere.
Yeah, unbelievable atmosphere at the Turf today. My dad's a part-time claret, I'm not going to lie. He has only just started coming on, really. He lives in Warrington, and he looked like he were really enjoying himself today. So it was good to be a claret today for all of us. Who was your man of the match, buddy? It's a hard one.
I'm going to say about Vegos.
Yeah? The crowd are loving him, aren't they?
Just ball seems to stick to his feet.
What do you think that the crowd are taking to more about him?
I think it's his effort. He seems to effort. Yeah, he's passionate, and he wants to help. Unlike what we saw with Chris Wood, where he wouldn't really track back, whereas Vegos, he's in the box, our own box as well. Trying to win tackles. He's holding up play as well better than Wood. He's not losing trampoline touches as well. He just seems a lot better player than Wood for half the price.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, I'm all for the progression of it. I think we're doing awesome, and we've got a good deal with it. Sometimes it's like when Tom Eaton left, it was a heartbreaking time for us. But sometimes it's just the right time for both parties, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about the defence, mate? Because I think we should celebrate a clean sheet as much as we should do scoring a goal.
I read this when Ben made that touch. Was it the first half?
Yeah.
That nearly gave me a heart attack. Yeah.
We've got some comments coming in here. We've got the lanky Maradona. Love that. We've got there we go. That was the original comment. That's what he's referring to.
He's a Dutch now, Quinn. I told you this the other day.
A Dutch now, Quinn. I mean, that I don't know if that's a positive, but I'll take it. I'm enjoying football right now, mate. It's what a time to be a Burnley fan this last week, yeah.
What about Jay Rodriguez's miss? What do you think of that?
Do you know what? I didn't know it was J Rod. I was so busy celebrating, thinking Ben Mee were going to put that in the net, and Ben Mee had 2 stabs at that. I think one of them should have gone in, if I'm honest.
I was thinking as soon as he missed that, they might go snatch an equaliser at that point. And from that point on, my hands were just shaking like that.
Do you know what? I said that I've not been that nervous on the turf for such a long time. Do you think Spurs were poor today?
I don't know. I don't really watch Spurs, so I don't know what their standards are.
That were a typical Spurs performance for me.
They didn't really create any big chances, if I'm being honest. We kept Son quite quiet today.
Well, we're going to get Dan on soon in a second, Bradley, but I'll just ask you quickly. I was talking to David on the way back from the turf, who we sit with, and he's a new claret, and he said that it was typical Spurs performance, like what we just mentioned, and he also said that I think that they came there wiping sort of a last-minute victory over City and thinking they were going to whitewash us. I think they came here underestimating Turf Moor on a Wednesday night.
To be fair, I was seeing on Twitter before the game, I was seeing not many Spurs fans confident about this game.
Was it not?
No. And same during the game, they're saying what everyone seems to big Spurs up after they beat Man City, but they should learn by now that Spurs ain't that all there,
Awesome. All right, thank you so much, Bradley, for coming on. Hopefully see you on the next time. Yes, I'm going to bring Dan on, but just before I do that, I just want to hear your thoughts, Clarence. Get your comments in. Get me on Twitter. If you want to come on, literally send me a tweet. I will send you the link via a DM at Simon Townley or at TurfCast. You can do that. He's not doing now. But yeah, if you want to get involved, let me know. So, right, we're going to bring Dan from Turf Morehouse. How are you, buddy?
Happy as a pig in shit, mate. I can't really say else than that. I mean, yeah, just wow. I mean, the first half, I thought, please not be one of them performances where we just have a solid 45 minutes and then drop off. And it started to look like that at the beginning of the second half. I thought typical Spurs were coming out of the blocks now. They're causing us a bit of trouble. But yeah, we saw it out. We saw it out well. And Ben Mee could have had an hat-trick tonight. You know, he had that header in the first half, didn't he? That was pretty much straight at the keeper. And then 2 stabs at, his goal, and then the 2 stabs at the last opportunity. So yeah, I'm buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing.
Well, I'm excited. That's 2 people now, obviously, that mentioned that. Johnny, what's your opinion on that J-Rod miss?
It's a bit of a sitter, isn't it, to be honest? You've got to expect him to put that away.
Yeah, it's one of them. I didn't really get an angle. I've had my head in my hands from the Ben Mee chance, but
I think it's hit his shin. I think it's hit his shin more than his actual connected with his foot.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, mate. Dan, we've got a comment here from Jared. He's saying the celebration at the end, you could see what it means to all of them. Phenomenal performance from the Clarets. What do you think of that, pal?
Yeah, absolutely smashing. You could see it, literally how long ago were it? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we had the odd boo ring around the stadium. 2 or 3 weeks back, and now look at us. Literally, there was probably no dry eye in the house. That were absolutely phenomenal. Everybody left everything on the pitch. I'm sorry, but Josh Brownhill, I don't know where he's been, or what holiday, or what training camp he's been on. Whether he's been flaming, watching old videos of Skill School on YouTube or something. But that guy has just become like. He's like Pele. Honestly, he's just literally. I can't say much more about him. He's just fantastic. I can't believe how much he's come on leaps and bounds.
You're unbelievable.
I'll tell you what. Talking of Pele, I did a reference to McNeil. I mean, McNeil was spinning people today like Messi.
Yeah, massively.
They're really good.
I love the fact that he's come back in and he's shown that I'm willing to die for the team sort of attitude, and that's what we needed. To be honest, I thought dropping him for one game potentially wasn't enough, but then his attitude to being dropped after that one game was, you couldn't have asked for more. To be honest, he wanted to be involved in the under-23s game. He wanted some match fitness and. Fair enough. His mentality is just second to none, and you want that. I think that's what Dash wants in the team anyway, doesn't it? So we've got to keep it up. We've just got to keep it up now.
So do you think we can stay up then, Dan?
I said last week, at the weekend, 95 to 93% that
we're going. I think we flipped it from we're going to with staying at one point.
Yeah, I mean. Look how close we are now. It's just short table on Sky Sports, and 2 points between us and Everton and Newcastle. And we've got.
Just going to read it out. Dan, I'm just going to mute you because there's a feedback. Right, there we go. So just reading out the table then as it's gone off. Bloody, just normal up there. Let me rewind Sky. Right, so we've got Norwich 20th with 17 points, Watford in 19th with 18 points, Burnley with 20 points at 18th, and then just outside the relegation, we have got Newcastle who have played one more game, Everton who have played the same amount of games, both on 22, Leeds who have played 2 more games on 23, and then Brentford on 24 points, played 3 more games within us. I'm going to unmute you, Dan, again, because it's only when I speak. But who out of them ones, I've asked Johnny, who out of them do you think we can catch?
We've got to be looking at as far as Brentford, to be honest with you. I think we've got to look as upwards as that. I mean, a win against Palace, doesn't put us far off Leicester. We could bring Leicester back into it if we, win our next 2 games. It's madness. It's just typical Burnley, isn't it? Second half of the season that we start grinding results out. I shouldn't have doubted us. Don't get me wrong. I will happily say that, yes, okay, I'd written us off. We look set for the drop. And to be honest, I'm not going to shift that completely because I can't just base it on the fact that a couple of games is going to get us out of it. You know, other teams around us tonight lost, which was massive. I'm just, it's the phenomenal performance. I don't even think we let Spurs play, to be honest.
No.
As much as they had the possession, they didn't really have enough to start playing their game. No matter what Harry Kane did, we kept him quiet. Barely heard of him apart from his two or three snapshots. Just as Hardy was saying then in the comments, can't wait for Saturday now. Be another tough game. Another tough game.
Absolutely, mate. Johnny, it was a good point. There was a reference last game, I think it was off Dan, where we compared Weghorst to Kane. Yeah. And I was the one who pulled it on the screen because you messaged me, and I said that is a pretty bold statement. It's a pretty bold comparison. So I said, but he is coming to Turf Moor on Wednesday. Yeah. So obviously, we all know what Dan thinks of it. But what did you think of the comparisons?
The comparison
of Kane and Weghorst at the minute.
I don't think. If you look at him today, obviously it's a different one, but Kane's in a different league to Weghorst, in my opinion.
Yep.
I think you're obviously a
agree with that. I agree with that, Johnny. I think what I was trying to say was that in terms of him dropping back, helping out in the midfield, having that sort of play.
More to the team than Chris would, and then you can see that as soon as he started to get more into the game, Weghorst today, that's when we started to create more chances, and we ended up getting a goal from it. I think he were quiet in the first half, but we were as a team really. But then when he starts getting more and more into the game, we just build from him, and we hadn't had a striker like that for. I can't think of last striker we had like that who links up that play so well that we've got. He's in a different league to Chris Wood.
Awesome, mate. Well, Dan, I'm going to leave you with the last word on it. Who's the next game? Is it Palace?
Palace away, yeah.
Palace away. Give us a score prediction for that one, buddy, before I bring someone else on.
I'll any game away from homes. You take a point on the road. They did well tonight. We did well tonight. I'll take 2 apiece.
Awesome. Thank you very much, buddy. That's Dan from Turf Moor House.
I think I've sorted my camera, by the way.
All right, we get to see your face.
You are?
I can't wait for that. Right, we've got 2 more guests already waiting to come on. Please do us a favour. If you're watching this on Twitter, give us a retweet. If you are watching on YouTube, share the link to your Facebook, because unfortunately we couldn't get on Facebook today because Joe's been hacked. So we're only on the 2 devices, so people might struggle to find us. So we've got the beautiful man of Johnny Tate. I'm going to bring Josh Wills on now. He hasn't got his camera on. Josh, mate, how are you, buddy? How did you think of that game?
Good evening, chaps. I'm absolutely made up with that. It's just a sense of relief really seeing everyone on the turf. We've been playing well for a while now, and we finally got the reward for it.
Do you know what, mate? You sound like you're on your way home from the turf. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, back to Warrington.
Warrington, that's some travel. That my dad does the same journey. Yeah, my dad does the same journey after the game. He lives in Warrington as well. Maybe you should car share. Anyway, so yeah, what was your favourite part of the game today? Who shone for you? Who was your favourite player?
To be honest, there was just so many good players, but I have to say, Peters, I think, has just been absolutely brilliant for weeks now. Normally when Taylor gets injured, I'm a bit wary of Peters. I don't think that his defensive side of him is really up to scratch at times. Would be guilty of conceding a lot of goals down that side with crosses coming in, etc. But Charlie Taylor, is going to have a tough task getting back in the team, really.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't disagree with that. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, Peters, like I said earlier, he's been brilliant. We're comparing. We ran about that Sessegnon today. How much did they pay for him?
Yeah,
he was absolutely garbage. He's terrible. Yeah. And then you start comparing like Sessegnon. Taylor's better than him, but fucking Peters made him look like fucking. Peters like Roberto Carlos today.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't believe how well Peters.
The Dutch Carlos.
Sorry,
Josh.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I couldn't believe how well Peters turned up against Salah last week, against Liverpool. He just, we're talking about a player that's regarded as one of the best in the world, if not, the best player in the Premier League at the moment. And he just coped with him really well. He's just been really solid, he's been fantastic.
Do you know what, Josh? You've hit the nail on the head there, mate. We forget to mention. We mentioned it on the other show. He's had Manchester United. He's had Liverpool, and now he's had Spurs. You know, arguably all teams in the top six, with some of the best players in the world, and he's not looked out of place. And I now love Charlie Taylor, but I said the other day, how do you change a team from Brighton, who's won 3-0, and the changes came in? Do you think that if Charlie Taylor was fit, Josh, do you think he'd come straight back in or not?
I don't know. It's a little bit tough because I was umming and ahhing about whether he would bring Tarky back in, because I think Collins has been really hard done by. Whenever he's played the season, he's been outstanding. He's been in the top 3 players for me, and I think if I'm right, we possibly, it might have been close, but we've had quite a few clean sheets with Collins as well. So it's I think that was a tough decision again. But I mean, guys, there's been times where some fickle fans are saying there's a time for a change of manager, but the more time goes on, I just think I believe in what he's saying. Each week after every game, he was saying we're not far off, we're close, and to be honest, it got a bit boring kind of hearing it, because we weren't seeing it on the pitch, but we started to see it. There's been a bit of a fight ever since the Arsenal game. Like you said, I went to Leeds away. We felt like that was a massive game, and it was, and we were terrible. And then we went to Arsenal, like a different team, and we've just been back to old Burnley. We're giving everything. It's great to see. One of the first things Guy said when he came in was that the minimum requirement at this football club would be sweat on the shirt, and the players are giving that. I don't mind getting beat. Don't get me wrong, I don't like getting beat, but if we get beat by a team that are better than us and we've given everything, I don't feel as bad. It's when I don't see effort, and I don't see the players trying.
No, yeah, good one. Got a comment for you here, buddy. Off Robbie Brownhill and McNeil next level. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Actually. There you go, Matt Lockrock. Peter just doesn't seem to overlap Dwight as much as Taylor does, and the reason I'm highlighting that comment, and I'm going to ask your opinion on this, Josh and Johnny, is that's what kind of making Dwight also shine in the last 2 or 3 games, like he has been doing. I know that he got dropped, but he has sort of been given the role of you go forward with it more, stop coming back. What's your opinion on that, Josh?
Yeah, it's a great comment, really. I would say that's right. McNeil is shining a little bit more with Peter than a team. Earlier on in the season, I think we were conceding a few goals down that side with Taylor, and that may be because McNeil weren't tracking back as much, or so. But McNeil's been he got dropped at the right time, I think, and he looked like his attitude wasn't quite there, or he wasn't quite happy. He wasn't looking like he was willing to work for the team. But since going back in, he's been excellent, and I really like that comment what Guy said about how he has to play for the reserves, and how many other players would have to do that. They split the dummy out for a lot longer. But with fair play to him, he was outstanding tonight. Him and Brownhill, I'm a big fan of Brownhill, and hopefully he can start adding a few more goals to his game. I think now he's got one, we can see a bit more confidence. Tonight, I think he had 3 shots, I think, and we've not really seen that before.
No, I just want to bring in a point here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, we won 3-0 against Brighton, and it's my last question because I've got Nicky waiting and nodding away there at most of your comments, Josh. He agrees with everything you're saying, I think. But, we've actually only lost the same amount of games as Spurs and one more than West Ham, who are sitting in 5th. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We changed it from the Brighton game. It's very difficult to have an argument for if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but there's some players that still want to get in that first team, isn't there?
Of course there is, yeah. Of course there is. Obviously, it looks like Tarkin can be going, so he wants to play in. He's playing for a contract at a big club next season that he wants, and as long as he's playing well, I don't mind. Normally, if a player doesn't want to be at Burnley or isn't going to be there, then anyway you won't want them in the team. But if he's willing to give 100% like he has been doing, then fair play. If Dash is seeing that, then we're seeing it as well, and hopefully we just keep going, we just keep building now, and that's all we can do. We're in reach now of quite a few teams. I think Brentford, especially, are the ones to watch. They're in really bad form. But if we can get a couple more points, hopefully starting on Saturday, another point there we do. Then who knows? next Tuesday, Leicester at home. They've not been great this season. We can get a turn back in again. We can hopefully get some big points to get them as well.
Well, Robbie's got a good comment there. Burnley passing it around like prime Barca in the first half. I can actually see him from where I'm sat. He's in my house and he's smiling at the screen, so I think he's got it on the big screen. But yeah, what a good call that is, Josh. I will bid you farewell, mate. Are you going to go to the Palace game? Because I heard you say you went to away games as well.
No, I'm not able to make Palace, which I'm gutted about now after tonight. But I'm hoping to get to Brentford.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. Safe journey home, pal.
See you later, bud.
Good input, that one. I enjoyed that one. Nicky's got a good etiquette. I like Nicky. He's a good friend of mine. I'm sure he'll be involved just as much. So I've got any more comments coming in, guys. If you want to retweet, give us a retweet. If you want to get involved, send me a tweet at Simon Townley. And I will start bringing in more. Dash actually seems open to change now, week by week. On talks, the passion when we scored. I agree with that, mate, because he has changed it, and his rotation better for this Burnley side while we've got it available to us. Nicky, mate, how are you, buddy?
I'm bloody magic. How good were that, lads?
I'm so sorry to keep waiting for something. He was one of the first on. He lost connection and then went to the back of the queue.
Yeah,
great.
You weren't nervous before. Yeah,
I know, mate.
I told him you were putting him to back at queue, you liar.
Where are you watching it from, Nicky?
I'm in Newcastle, Simon. I'm in Newcastle, which is quite nice because all these Geordies, they're trying to turn into prime Burnley, aren't they, from 4 years ago? Yeah. It's flattering when the richest club in the world want to do what we were doing.
Yeah, true. Good point, mate. Good point. So, yeah, I knew that you were watching in Newcastle. What is the vibe of Newcastle at the minute? Are they worried about Burnley or are they just completely confident they're getting out of it, mate?
I think they've saved us both, Simon, and most of my mates tend to agree. They've come in. They've potentially triggered a buyout clause on Wood. I know there's a bit of a question mark about whether that was going to kick in the winter window. But they've took Wood, they've picked up solid points, and we've used the money to invest and improve our team. So thanks very much, Newcastle. Yeah,
unarguable, that one, mate. No one can argue with that. So go on, give us your performance, because you watched it on TV. I was at the game. Johnny was at the game.
Yeah.
What did it look like on TV?
It looked great. I mean, Graham Scott forgot his wallet because there could have been plenty of cards there, but we're not really worried about that, are we? We're not really worried about that. I mean, for me, the main thing is the team performance. We've done it again. We've reached that mid-season juncture and we've turned the corner yet again. And Darsh's Burnley have done it time and time again. I think, was it Dan that mentioned 45-minute performances? We did have a tendency to do that, but we've done it over whole seasons as well. The promotion season, Stephen Wood comes in at left back and me goes to centre half, and after looking fairly shocking, we go 23 unbeaten and get promoted. And we did it last year. We were awful. We were in the same position, same predicament last year. And at the mid-season stage, we pretty much went back to basics, and it looks to me like we've done it again. No one could have argued if we took 12 points from these last 4 games.
No, to be fair, mate, no, that's a great point. I think I was listening to TalkSport the other day, and it was Simon Jordan that was kind of putting us down. He was putting nails in the coffin for our Premier League survival. And he said that if Burnley got 4 points out of the next 2 games, Spurs being one of them and Palace at the weekend, then they could argue a case for staying up and catching teams like Brentford. Well, we're well on the way to doing that, mate. Do you think we can get another point?
I think Palace is the next game up. We're looking forward to it now. That's a big deal. I was getting a bit despondent, frankly, a few weeks ago, but we're now going into that game. How must the players feel? If we feel like this now, how must the players feel going into that next game?
Well, me and Johnny we were at the game. Obviously, Palace have won today, but how buzzing were the players after that game, Johnny?
Oh yeah, they were. Like I say, you can just tell. You can just tell over the past couple of weeks we've been building to something, and it's just all come together. And it's pleasing to see. Like, obviously, there were no Cornet today, not even in the squad. And before when that team come out, you're looking, you're thinking, "Oh, here we fucking go." And then we just kicked on from Brighton and just kept on what we were doing. And when you're not having to rely on your players like Cornet and things to create something, and McNeil were back to his best again today. Just them balls he were putting into that box were fucking the prime Dwight McNeil.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just amazing what one win does for you.
Nicky, is that one of the best performances you've seen from Dwight McNeil ever, or just in a long time?
I think McNeil got overlooked for his contribution against Brentford, which was our other best performance of the season. McNeil was involved in everything we did well that day. But he has been off the boil, and Dash seems to have managed him really well. He's come back into the team and he looks hungry again. So more power to him.
I think we relied on him too much. I think everything that we ever did when we were playing well had to come through Dwight McNeil. And now you've got other players who can contribute. You like Silvegos. He takes up 2 defenders every time he goes to do everything. And I think it's just not having to rely on him week in, week out, and just give him that freedom to just fucking try and get them balls into the box.
Absolutely, mate. You talked about the Brentford game. Obviously, Dwight had a great game there. One of his best performances. But I genuinely think the performance today had everything. It wasn't just like the Brentford game. It was just one of them games like the Brighton game where it just clicks. You go forward and every time you look like you could score. But today, we showed every single part of Burnley. The old-fashioned Burnley. You mentioned it earlier, Nicky.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's our strength, isn't it? For a decade now under Sean Dyche, it's been the power of the collective, not an individual. And whilst McNeil was superb, Brownhill's turned into prime Yaya Toure over the last few weeks. But it's unfair to single out any performances. That's a team effort tonight, and for the past few games, we've done it. And if we keep playing like that all season, I have no doubt we're staying up.
Do you know what? Yeah. I want to read a comment out. Adam Rowland just commented on there, and I remember he texted me earlier wanting me to read one out. Incredible performance from the Clarets in treacherous conditions. Yeah, let's not forget how bad that weather was. That was pretty terrible at some points of that game. We joke about Dash fit, but that game showed why he's so keen on making sure that players are 100%. Every one of them ran to their man and gave their all. Sorry. Vegas doesn't just hold up the play. He unlocks passes with cute, smart balls in to continue attack. And a special mention to Peters. That man is in form of his life.
I agree.
I couldn't summarise the game much better than that myself, mate. We got a question here from Matt Lawcock. I'll ask you both because obviously we've got no more guests queuing up at the minute. What's your thoughts on Roberts over Lawton? It's a good question. Any one of you can take that one.
I'll take it.
Go on then.
Proved me wrong massively, and I think today was the one where I actually looked at him and I thought, yeah, you are a better right back than Matt Lawton, and know, so I love Lawton, but fucking Roberts to me, he does offer. I don't know. It's just he just offers them little 1-2s where someone will give it to him and they just have a little 1-2 and they're out of fucking position and then we break. And we never seem to have that with Lawton. Lawton's very good at picking the ball deep, playing it into the channel. And then obviously that's where we got most of his goals. Would have run into the channel, he'd only up and play it back. We can't play like that anymore. And he offers a different dimension going forward, does Roberts. And again today, he were unbelievable again today with Roberts. I'm not convinced with this long throw that I've heard of. Everyone thinks he's like Rory Delap. It's not that good, but
I think I was counting the other games. Yeah. I didn't pay much attention to it today. There weren't many of them, but I don't think we won one header in that game where everyone was like, bloody brilliant. He got a long throw. They were throwing it to a player who we've currently found out doesn't like heading the ball in Vegas. He offers other things, don't get me wrong, but we all know, we can see it quite clearly. He didn't want to put his head on that ball if he couldn't have to. Laura's put, we want to be in a position where we've got excellent options in the squad fighting for the first team football. That's the dream. And at the minute, I can't say that I've seen in recent times a team where, like you said, we've got two really good right backs at the minute. Like you just said there's no criticism of Lawton there, but Roberts had a great game today. Peters, no criticism of Charlie Taylor, but Peters having a wonderful time at left back at the minute. Vegas, J-Rod, you got Vidra, who's not fit at the minute. We've got Barnes, who's going to try and get a push now. We have actually got options for once. Westwood's didn't play. Collins isn't playing. There's a few players.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was quite pleasing as well to see that he had obviously Richardson and players like on the bench instead of having fucking three keepers sat there. I always like to see some of your youth players just sat on the bench, and you never know if it were fucking 1-0 down and we needed some throw Barnes and that players like add on. But obviously Cornet weren't even in the squad. And you look at the players who were missing, Goodmanson, players like that, and you think, we do actually have a decent squad. And we've just added that little bit of quality now, which is they've settled in. And that little bit of quality is allowing everyone else to flourish. And that's all we've been missing. And obviously, the transfer window, everyone was a little bit disappointed. But just imagine if we hadn't bought that Weghorst in and we'd have gone into these games, we'd have been nowhere near. It's just that little bit of quality which we've got, and we are where we are now.
Yeah,
that's it. Weghorst freeing up the likes of McNeil to do his stuff, isn't he? As you mentioned earlier, and for me, with the fullbacks, it's quite a simple answer. I think they're all really matching each other, but Taylor and Roberts are the future, aren't they? So they're getting the nod every time for me, because they're the players that are going to be with Burnley for years to come. So the more we can get them on the pitch, the better.
Yeah, great point, mate. I wasn't laughing at you, by the way. I was laughing at this comment from Matt Lawcott. Stephen's knocking on the door also. I thought it was a joke when I read it, but I realised then it wasn't. Stephen's been good when he came on for a couple of games. I can't say I 100% agree with Stephen's knocking on the door.
That's
got
to be a wind-up.
I thought it was, but I don't know the way it's written, mate. Tarkowski also... We've got Tarkowski had Kane in his back pocket. I actually agree with that. I don't think Kane... someone said it earlier.
Would you have played looking before we kicked off? No. Would you have played Tarky over Collins after Saturday?
No, I wouldn't have changed the 11, because how can you change an 11? I know it's a ridiculous thing to say now at a 1-0 victory at home to a team like Spurs, but how can you change a team that was just won 3-0 away from home against a very good Brighton side?
It just goes to show, though, lads, that Dash fella might know what he's talking about.
Imagine, mate. Imagine if after all this time he actually knew what he was on about and we didn't. Oh, hang on, we'll take that one off. We don't want that much negativity. Matt Lawcott's put laughing faces, so he might have been wound.
Yeah, 100%. I know what he's like.
So we've got the Palace game at the weekend, Nicky. I presume you'll be watching it.
I'm just going to get my charger. 1 sec.
Oh,
yeah,
we don't need
Nothing changes. I'm never prepared.
What do you think, mate? Have we got a good chance of getting a victory, or would you take a draw now?
I won't be backing against us on recent performances, and as I say, I've got confidence now that we've found the formula. We seem to have, whether it be by luck or design, we've found that little recipe. I think Weghorst's probably the catalyst for it, in all honesty. But it don't matter. We've now got that unity, we've got that togetherness, and putting in performances like that, we can beat anyone. And I certainly don't hold any fear for Palace.
No. Do you know what? I'm just looking at the table now over at my right. We have Palace sitting in 11th, just be in the top of the bottom half of the table with 29 points, but played 3 games more than us. So technically, if we won all 3, we'd be on the same amount of points. So yeah, you've got a good point there, mate. We shouldn't really be fearing them. But they just had a really good, convincing victory away to Watford.
Does us a favour though, doesn't it? You know, we can look at that result and smile as well as them. So I don't know. Zaha's only ever one comment in his ear away from a red card. He's the best player in liability. It says it all, doesn't it?
Talking a lot, and he's a good player to have on the pitch to wind up players like Zaha, because he's got a short fuse, and we know that at Turf Moor, don't we?
Yeah.
Johnny's back in the chat. We've also got Josh. I don't know if he wants to come in. I'll just throw him in there. Josh, have you got something else you want to bring in? I don't know if you left, in fact.
No, I'm still there, lads.
Yeah, you're just enjoying the show, mate?
Yeah, a few great points there. Just touching on the fullbacks, what you said there. I think, 100%, you know, that's the future. You know, when we signed Connor Roberts, I was kind of excited. I had a friend who was a Swansea fan, and he said he's a fantastic signing there. You've got, you know, for couple of £1 million, you got yourselves an absolute bargain. And you know, I've been waiting for him to get his chance, and he seems to have been getting close. And then, you know, he's either picked up a niggly injury or he got that illness. But Lowen didn't really do anything wrong. You know, sometimes, just like a couple of years ago after the Boxing Day defeat when we got beat 5-1 against Everton, you know, Dash made a few changes and they've worked, and this has worked. It's been positive.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, mate. Like we just mentioned there, sometimes you've got to look at things, and there's not always a negative reason for things happening. Charlie Taylor's done nothing to suggest that he wouldn't get back in the first team, but Peters has been fantastic. Lawton hasn't done anything to lose his position at the minute. It's not always a negative. I don't believe I've been swearing, and if I have, I'm sorry, Mickey, but tough shit. I don't really think I have, though.
I probably have.
I don't think I have, to be fair. Chill out. So yeah,
Just
so
one,
great
one point I'd like to make, lads.
Say again, buddy.
Just one point I'd like to make. Just ask you guys your thoughts on one thing. We've obviously just had 2 wins now, and Westwood's not obviously been in the team. You know, do you stick with Cork and Brownhill, or does Westwood come back in for Cork? What are your thoughts on Saturday?
I am going to dive straight onto this because I've said it for the 2 games from the stands. Jack Cork complements Brownhill, Brownhill complements Cork. Together, at the minute, they are working very, very well. Westwood, fantastic player, exactly the same problem as your Lawton and your Charlie Taylor. I have nothing about... If Westwood came in because someone was injured, I'd have a complete faith and confidence in him. There is nothing to do with Westwood, but at the minute, I am absolutely loving Brownhill's performances, and that's coming alongside Jack Cork.
It's exciting, isn't it, that we're talking about these kind of dilemmas in different positions all over the pitch, and I can't remember when we were last doing that. That says a hell of a lot about where we've come to.
Yeah. Well, I've really enjoyed it today, guys, and I'm going to keep you all on for the next question before I end the stream. Man of the match. Start with you, Nicky, mate. Who was your man of the match today?
I'm not sitting on the fence, but I'm not giving it to anyone. I'm going to be consistent. It's a team performance today. Dash, if you must take a name off me. They were brilliant. There's no way that we win that without every single one of them doing what
Dash
they did today.
got one. I were a bit pissed off that he didn't make a sub till the 80-odd minute because I was getting very, very nervous. Josh, mate, where's your man of the match, pal?
It's hard to go away from, Captain Fantastic Ben Mee, another goal, another ready goal, another clean sheet, and another massive performance from the big man at the back.
Yeah, good point. I don't know if he'll win my man of the match, if I'm brutally honest, but go on, Johnny, mate. Who's yours?
Brownhill.
Brownhill, great, sorry. But why?
Why?
Any further on that, mate?
He's the best player on the pitch.
Right, awesome. Great introduction, great input there, mate. I will go with, do you know what?
That's why.
Your reasoning, mate. It's the point of a fucking talk show. Anyway, my man of the match, I did swear then, pal, whoever's commented earlier.
You're always swearing.
My man of the match, very difficult to make a decision. I cannot disagree with Nicky on this one. If I have to give it to someone, Dwight McNeil, if I could stand up in the stands, would have got me off my seat many a times tonight. I enjoyed it, the effort, the work ethic, the creativity. There could be 3 or 4. I am not saying specifically Dwight, but if I have to pick one, then Dwight excited me more tonight than most people have at Turf all season. So yeah, that was man. Someone's put Peter's man of the match. I can't argue with that, mate. Literally, I'm not going to criticize anyone's man of the match performances. But yeah, great chats tonight, guys. Really, really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Hopefully you can come on in future. But yeah, safe journey home to you, Josh. Hopefully you'll be nearly home. Now my dad's just left the house. I can see him, so he'll be on his way. But
yeah, thanks, pal. Just pulled into Warrington now.
Awesome, mate. Right, well, safe journey, and I will see you soon. I'm going to end the stream, guys. But yeah, if you can give this a share, give this a retweet, and we will see you next game, guys.